Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Ben Alexander, and if you're new here, it's good to see you. We're talking about the data that shows how many cars in Norway have a plug. So if you look at the graph for the last few years, it has been crazy. So a couple of years ago, I reported about Norway having 50 or 60% electric cars from new car sales, or cars with a plug, and then the year after it was, I don't know, 75% or something like that. Now we're pretty much at 100% of new cars. Almost all new cars are electric cars or cars with a plug. Hybrids make up less than 10% of car sales, so it is pretty much only electric cars, only just electricity. You can see in 2010, 11, 12, the Nissan Leaf, the 24 kilowatt hour version was released. So that was pretty much the start of it, this new wave of electric cars this last 10 years. If you've seen the film, I forgot what it's called now, the film about the GM electric car. I think it's called Who Killed the Electric Car, I think it's called. And that was around 1999, I think, or 2000. You should definitely go watch that. Brilliant. That's kind of a first movement to electric cars. It was very slither, like a brief thing, and then it got shut down. Now, the last 10 years, the world has gone crazy. So we have lots of electric cars. It's a brilliant thing. Norway is kind of carving a path and really showing us what it's going to be like for us in the future. So you can see quite a linear line, just nice, steady takeover of electric cars. The Tesla Model S was super popular in Norway. In fact, you could get a Model S cheaper, brand new, than you could get a Ford Mondeo. And maybe you still can, I don't know. But I think this year they were talking about making it, or probably being the last year that a petrol car will be sold in Norway brand new. I don't know how they can control that. That's three years ahead of their schedule, or their target, before they actually ban electric cars and petrol cars. The main reasons that people have been going electric in Norway for the last few years like crazy, almost running to the dealerships and chucking money at them, is because a couple of things. Number one, petrol and diesel prices in Norway always expensive anyway. I used to live there. Now, if you were to look at, it's $27 krona, 27 Norwegian krona per litre of fuel. So in gallons, in the US, that would be $9.96 US per gallon. So think about that. That's crazy. The car sales now in Norway are almost 100%, if not. We don't know for sure yet for this year. The prediction was last year that it would go up to pretty much 100% by mid this year. So we're looking for about 100% this year. The sales figures for the beginning of this year were 86% of car sales were electric cars. So the VAT, the value-added tax, or the import tax, cars that are electric don't have to pay a large tax to bring them into the country, and so therefore they're a lot cheaper. CNET.com, the website, they did a bit of math on this, and they pretty succinctly just say Norwegians are expected to pay 25% value-added tax, or VAT, on every purchase. This includes cars, which are also traditionally subjected to other import taxes and the like. And they go on to say that if you go to a BMW website and you want to buy 190 horsepower diesel-powered BMW saloon, does it say saloon? Doesn't say saloon. I just made that up. The car would cost you, in American dollars, $43,000. But by the time you've paid all the taxes and got it home, you'll have paid $70,000. Whereas a Tesla or another electric car, if you go on the website and it says it's $43,000, it's pretty much $43,000. And that is the big deal. That is why electric cars have taken off a lot in Norway. A couple of other things. They haven't in recent years been paying tolls to use the roads when you go through the toll. I think they're called boompinger. Tolls, road tolls, when you get flashed. I think maybe they still have to pay registration to go on the road. I'm not sure, but they don't. They don't have to pay the. Every now and then you go through a little thing and it flashes you and you get a bill. I don't think they had to pay those, and you could park anywhere, and you could use the bus lane if you had an electric car. Not sure if that's all changed now. Another nitty gritty. That's pretty much why cars have been going electric in Norway for the last few years. The government made it irresistible, completely irresistible. It's generally a cold country, even in summer when it's hot. You just get maybe a few hot days a year, and that's about it. So there's no heat degradation. Cold, we know cold temperatures reduce temporarily the battery capacity, and makes it hard for the battery to work. I think for the electrons to go through the cells. But that's not damaging. That's not permanently damaging. Whereas heat, leaving batteries in heat, does damage the capacity of batteries permanently. It's irreversible damage. So that is a big deal. And of course, Norway is great for that. You can buy electric cars, and the battery should last the life of the car. And by life of the car, I mean, probably 500,000 kilometers or more, depending on if it's rust-proofed or however it is, So the motor should all be fine, honestly. Which this means now then that Norway is at 86% upwards, most likely. So it's 86 to 100% electric car sales. The prediction was 100% by mid this year. The statistics show that it's 86%, but we don't know the full year results yet, so we'll find that out soon. Obviously, their infrastructure is well suited to electric cars because electricity is relatively cheap there, and also the power that you get from your plug at home is at least 99% renewable energy. It's green. It's very, very green energy. So it works really well there, and there seems to be no issues, and I don't think anybody thinks there's going to be any issues in the next 10 to 20 years. With this fairly quick transition from fossil fuel cars to electric cars. Already in Norway, the petrol stations or fuel stations have gone down in number. So there's now 1,200 of them, which is not many at all, for the whole country of Norway. 1,200 versus 17,000 charging points in Norway, which is just crazy. So it's doing really well. If you're in Norway, let me know if you have any concerns about the future for the country with pretty much all electric cars. I don't think anyone really does, but I'm interested to know if you've got any thoughts on that. Also, if you're there and you're living in the cold and the snow and you've got an electric car, let us know in the comments how you're finding it. It's a really interesting thing, and I would love it personally, heating up the car with a button on my phone and the car getting warm,